Somewhere in Hong Kong, a finance professional joins what looks like a normal video call. The room fills with familiar faces, senior executives, voices that match faces, names they recognize. And then comes the request. Not a small one, not a routine invoice, not a system alert, a confidential transaction. And in the days that follow, the transfers begin. Around 200 million Hong Kong dollars leaves the company, roughly 25 million US dollars. Arup later confirmed that fake voices and images were used. The executives on that screen were not what they appeared to be. The money was real. The meeting was not. This is not just a story about deepfake technology. It is a story about what happens when corporate trust gets manufactured. The company was Arup, a British multinational design and engineering firm with major projects around the world. A business built on trust, approvals, and high-stakes decisions. In January 2024, the fraud did not need to break through any of them. It only needed one thing to be believed. Arup later confirmed it had been the victim of a fraud incident in Hong Kong. The company said fake voices and images were used. It also said its internal systems and networks were not compromised. That distinction deserves a moment. This was not a system breach. There is no public indication that Arup's networks were breached, and the company said the attack did not impact its systems. The criminals did not go around Arup's technology. They went around its people. Hong Kong police reported that a finance worker transferred around 200 million Hong Kong dollars following a deceptive video conference involving apparent senior officers of the company. Media reporting put that figure at roughly 25 million US dollars. The company later said its financial stability was not affected, but the case became a warning far beyond one company. Because what was targeted was something every business uses every day. A screen, a voice, a meeting, and the assumption that the people on that screen are who they appear to be. The attack did not begin with a video call. It began with a message. The scheme reportedly started with a phishing email that appeared to originate from the company's UK office. The message framed a financial matter as sensitive and confidential. That word, confidential, is worth pausing on. In legitimate companies, confidentiality around financial matters is completely normal. Mergers, acquisitions, legal disputes, sensitive payments, all of them can require discretion. But secrecy is also one of the oldest tools in fraud. Confidentiality isolates the target. It makes the request harder to verify with colleagues. It turns ordinary caution into something that feels like disobedience. This is the world of business email compromise, BEC for short. A category of fraud where criminals impersonate someone with authority, a chief financial officer, a chief executive, a lawyer, or a supplier, to trigger a payment or extract sensitive information. BEC does not look like it did 10 years ago. It does not always arrive as a broken English scam. Sometimes it looks like a perfectly normal message from someone at the top of the org chart. The email creates the opening. The authority creates pressure. But in this case, the email was only the beginning. What came next was something more powerful. A meeting? The finance worker was brought into what appeared to be a group video conference. Not a strange phone call from an unknown number. Not one suspicious email thread. A meeting. The format itself did part of the persuasion. On a video call, people scanned for cues. A face, a voice, a familiar name. The rhythm of a normal business discussion. When the call looks and sounds real, the mind relaxes. And when multiple apparent senior executives are present, something else shifts. The request no longer feels like one person asking for money. It feels like the organization has already decided. That is the psychological core of this case. One face can be questioned. A room full of senior people is far harder to challenge. According to Arup, counterfeit voices and images were used. Hong Kong police described a deceptive video conference involving apparent senior officers of the company. Media reporting widely characterized this as a deepfake video call. But the details matter. Hong Kong authorities described the video conference as pre-recorded. What public sources do not clearly establish is whether any part of the interaction was live, interactive, or combined with other communication channels. The exact technical method has not been officially confirmed. The precise duration and structure of the call are not verified in primary sources. None of that uncertainty diminishes the confirmed version. A corporate payment process accepted a video meeting as proof of authority. And that was enough. After the meeting, the money moved. Hong Kong police reported that funds were transferred to 5 local bank accounts. The fact-checked figure is around 200 million Hong Kong dollars, equivalent to roughly 25 million US dollars. Media reporting described the payments as moving through approximately 15 transactions. This is where the story changes. It stops being only a technology story. It becomes a payments control story. Fraud does not succeed at the moment a fake image is created. It succeeds at the moment a real payment is authorized. The employee in this case should not be treated as the villain. The target was not a single person. The target was the approval process itself, the hierarchy, the chain of authority, the assumption that a face on a screen is verification enough. In financial crime terms, this also maps onto a category called authorized push payment fraud, a PP fraud as it is known. In these schemes, the payment may be authorized from inside the organization, but the authorization is obtained through deception. The bank transfer can look legitimate, the instruction behind it is not, and by the time that difference is discovered, the money is often already gone. The most dangerous element of this case was not the fake media. It was the psychological architecture built around it. Layer 1. Authority. When a request appears to come from senior leadership, it carries institutional weight. Employees are trained to escalate upward. They are rarely trained to push back downward. The instruction from the top feels like a policy, not a choice. Layer 2. Urgency. Fraudsters create pressure for speed. Urgency closes the space for questions. It makes verification feel like delay, and delay feel like failure. Layer 3. Confidentiality. When a request is framed as sensitive, the employee may feel they are not permitted to verify it with colleagues. The secrecy is the isolation. The isolation is the control. Layer 4. Group confirmation. On a call with multiple apparent executives, the instruction arrives already validated. One person can be questioned. Several cannot. The group creates the illusion that the decision has already been made above the employee's level. Layer 5. The false comfort of seeing and hearing. For years, companies trained employees to distrust suspicious emails. The message became, if you can see the person and hear the person, you can trust the person. Video calls became a trust shortcut. That shortcut became the target. The criminals did not only impersonate an executive, they impersonated consensus. They manufactured the feeling that the organization had already approved what it was being asked to do. Ledger check. Red flag 1. Confidentiality, money, and urgency. Not every confidential transaction is fraud. But when secrecy, money, and time pressure arrive together, the request should move into a higher risk category immediately. Red flag 2. An unfamiliar payment path, new accounts, new beneficiaries, unusual payment flows. These should never rely on one communication channel for approval. Red flag 3. Authority pressure. The more senior the request appears to be, the stronger the verification should become. Authority should not reduce controls, it should increase them. Red flag 4. Video used as proof. A video call proves that something appeared on a screen. It does not prove who created it, who controlled it, or whether the person behind it is real. Red flag 5. No out-of-band confirmation. the safest verification happens outside the channel that delivered the request. A known phone number, a separate approval path, a payment rule that cannot be overridden by a convincing face. The principle is simple. The higher the pressure, the stronger the verification must be. Media reports said the fraud came to light after the employee raised the matter with the company's head office. That contact was the moment the manufactured authority collapsed. By then, the meeting was gone. The voices were gone, but the transfers were already real. Arup confirmed its involvement in May 2024. The company said fake voices and images were used. It said its networks were not impacted and its internal systems were not compromised. That framing matters. Arup did not describe this as a technology breach. It described it as a fraud incident. The intrusion was not into its systems, it was into its process. Arup also said the incident did not affect its financial stability, its operations, or its project delivery. The company said it reviewed its governance and processes after the fraud. Public reporting does not clearly establish how much of the transferred funds, if any, were recovered. It also does not clearly establish whether any arrests directly connected to this case have been made. The safe conclusion is not that the story is closed. The safe conclusion is that the warning is still open. The Arup case does not exist in isolation. It sits at the intersection of several criminal trends that were already accelerating. Business email compromise evolved from fake supplier emails into fake executive identities, from impersonating a sender to impersonating a person through voice, image, and video. Voice cloning moved from science fiction into criminal toolkits. Voice cloning tools have become easier to access, and official warnings now treat AI-enabled impersonation as a growing fraud risk. And now, video, not just a still image or a doctored photograph. Video with motion, with audio, with the visual format of the most trusted communication tool in modern business. Official guidance from agencies including the FBI, FinCEN, and UK cybersecurity authorities has addressed the growing risk of AI-enabled impersonation in corporate finance. The direction of travel is consistent. Impersonation is becoming harder to detect with the senses alone. For finance teams, the response is not to distrust every call. It is to redesign the payment process around the assumption that audio and video can be faked. A face is not approval. A voice is not authorization. A meeting is not verification. The control has to exist outside the performance. The fake video call that moved $25 million was not only a technology story, it was a trust story. The criminals did not need to own Arup's systems. They needed the process to believe what it saw. That is the new problem for every organization that moves money. In the previous era of fraud, the question was, is this email real? In the era we are entering, the question is harder. Is this person real? At Red Flag Ledger, we follow the money. But now, we also have to verify the voice and question the room.